Hello and welcome to OctopusDo. I'm Christian Ross, and today we're going to talk about crimping your beading wire. Crimping is a way to affix a clasp to a flexible beading wire without having to tie a knot or use glue. It's a mechanical connection. I'll show you what I'm talking about, so let's get started. Here's what you're going to need. You definitely need some bead stringing wire. If you need more information on exactly what bead stringing wire is, I just covered that in my last video, so check that out. You're going to need at least one jump ring to attach your clasp. I have a couple of options here. I have a soldered jump ring and an open jump ring. You're going to need the clasp that you want, and you're going to need crimps. I have a couple of different options here. I've got bead, I've got tube crimps in the silver and the copper, or a black color, or I have crimp beads. Now, a few options that are really going to make your jewelry look a bit more professional will be using a wire guardian, and I'll explain that later. Also, using a crimp cover. That's pretty important because you can cover your crimp afterward and make it look more like a bead, and so it blends right into the design of your jewelry. The tools that we're going to need for this are going to be the Xuron 4-in-1 crimping plier. You can use any standard crimper you like. However, I really recommend this one. It works with pretty much any size crimp, and it has a flat space at the top, so it will act like a chain nose plier. You're going to need wire cutters. I have the shears from Xuron, the number 410 micro shears. That's going to cut my beading wire nicely. And then to open and close the jump ring, you're going to need a pair of chain nose pliers. For that, I'm using the number 475 short nose plier from Xuron as well. That's going to give me a great grip on that jump ring. And finally, you need a way to measure your jewelry piece. You can use a bead board if you like. They're very handy, or in this case, I'm just going to use my tape measure to make sure that I get something big enough to wear. Other than these tools and supplies, the only other thing you're going to need are the beads that you would like to string. The beads I've chosen for this project are a beautiful strand of coin-shaped beads that are a sodalite. Really pretty on that. And what's really cool about these is they have a bit of an overlap in the way that they're drilled. So I think that that would make a nice bracelet. Going to intersperse those with these cool seed beads. They're a size 11 in the metal true silver tone. So I'm going to cut these off the strand and take out the beads I'd like to use. If you guys know me, I like making a mess. I count it as part of the creative process. All right, then I have my 7-strand beading wire. It doesn't have to be terribly flexible because I'm just going to make a bracelet with that. So 7-strand works just fine. And just a point here, I am going to keep the wire on the spool. I'm not cutting this off of the spool yet. And by keeping the collar here and keeping my wire on the spool, I can use that to stop the ends and keep beads from falling off the end as I string them, and then I can cut that off when I know how long I need it to be. I check the end here to make sure that it's not frayed, because if it was, then I would just chop that off so I had a clean end, but it looks great. So we're just going to start stringing. I'm going to start out with 3 seed beads. Let those slide down. And from here on, I'm just going to alternate between a sodalite bead and a seed bead. There are a lot of things I could do with this. I think I could make it a gradient, you know, have all the darker ones on one end going into the lighter ones. Let's see what that would look like. Separate these out. all seem to be about the same color, so I'll just grab some more that have the white. So I have 3 beads strung here. The actual sodalite beads here are a little over an inch when they're stacked up together, and so I know I'm going to need at least 6 sets of 3. So I've got my first set of 3. Alright, I want this to be just a hair longer because I have to save room for my clasp. So I'm at 6.5 inches. I'm going to add 1 more bead. And then finish this side off like I started here with 3. So right now I am just under 7 inches. It's more like 6 3/4. And I'm going to put a clasp on that end. I'm going to put these beads out of the way because I don't want to get them confused with my crimp tubes. Now let's assemble the clasp for this. I have the end of my beading wire here, and I'm going to use that to pick up 1 crimp tube. Slide that down. Then I'm going to use a wire guardian. I'll give you a good look at this. Basically, this is a way of protecting your wire from wear and tear. It's like a French coil is for pearls. So how it works is I go through one end here, like so. Then take my beading wire and I'm going to go around that loop at the top and back down the other side and slide that down. So you see, this wire guardian creates a guard against friction on your wire. So I have the end of my wire here, and what I'm going to do is come back and get this crimp tube that I put on and slide it back up, and it's going to hold both wires now. And I'm going to snug that up, not overly tight, because I don't want to put too much pressure on all of these findings, because again, that causes wear. You need a little bit of breathing room on these. Now, the way this is right now, my wires are crossed over each other. I need to make sure that that doesn't happen. I need them to be next to each other, because otherwise, inside the crimp, they will squish each other, and I need them in their own channel. So I hold this and turn to make sure that they are next to each other and not on top of each other. Now here comes the crimping part, the most important part. I have my Xuron 4-in-1 crimper. And let me just give you a little bit of the anatomy on this. Right here is a pointy part. Yeah, that's the official term. Pointy part, and here is the divot for that pointy part. What you do, no matter the size of your crimp, is you're going to squeeze your crimper closed, and that is going to squish your crimp tube and make 2 channels where the wire fits in. So you're separating the wires into 2 channels using that part. Down here are various divots where you're going to use that for the second part of crimping. So just hang on and I'll show you that. So I've got my setup here, and so I come in and line everything up. So my crimp tube is sitting at the bottom there and the divot is ready to go down. So I'm just going to hold that there and give you a good close-up. Now I just give it a gentle squeeze. And you see how that has made a U shape? So now I'm going to continue the crimping process by turning this 90 degrees sideways. And now is where I'm going to come back in with the size divot that fits and press that U shape over and closed. And then I can go around and kind of round all of that off. I'm just turning this, and it's turning that crimp kind of back into a cylinder. I haven't cut into the wire. Everything's looking good. Now, I'll show you how to add the clasp to this part. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of some of this wire. I'm going to trim it to about 1/4 inch. Then I'm going to slide my beads down over that end. I'm going to slide the rest of the beads down. And then I'm going to cut this off of the spool with enough wire to play with. At this point, and I probably should have done this before I cut that off, I'm going to measure this again because I know how much room that this fixture has added. That gives me pretty much 1/2 inch from the end of that to my first sodalite bead. So I'll give this the same room. That means that this will be a 7.5 inch bracelet, and that's a little long for me. So I'm going to take one of these dark beads off, but I need to add 2 more of my seed beads to keep the design the same. And now I'm going to repeat this on this side. Crimp tube, wire guardian all the way around, and then back through everything. Then pull everything tight. And I have the wire coming out of the bottom of the sodalite bead. I will trim that. But now I get to crimp here. Now I need to, just like before, make sure that my wires are not crossing over each other. Then crimp. So I'm going to use the pointy part to make that the U shape. And then use the divot. Using the second one in to press that down. Okay. Now I'm going to come in with my nice pointy shears and make sure that I only cut the end of this wire that I don't need, not the other one. So now I have almost a bracelet. I'm going to add the clasp. I'm going to use regular jump rings. I don't need to use the soldered ones at this point because I use the wire guardians. So I open these up just like chainmail jump rings. Put that through one side of my wire guardian, and then slide on my lobster claw clasp and close that jump ring. Then on the other side, I'm going to just add a plain jump ring, no clasp. So the one finishing touch I'm going to talk about is using crimp covers to cover your crimps. And the 4-in-1 crimp tool is going to be perfect for that. So a crimp cover looks like this. It's a little C shape, and that will fit right over your crimp. So I'm settling that C shape inside the largest divot here. And then I'm going to slide my bracelet right in there. And I'm putting that crimp cover over the crimp. And give that a little bit of a squeeze until it's almost shut. Then I'm going to rotate it and just kind of give little squeezes as I go. And that way it's going to be more rounded and I won't make that, I won't crush the cover. And then I'm going to do the same on the other side. And you just keep working around until you get a nice shape on that. Very cool. Nice bit of play there, and it looks completely finished all the way around. So important things to remember when you're crimping are: don't cross over your wires because they will bite into each other, and really that's it. Make sure you're not pulling everything completely tight because you don't want to put that stress on the wire. Everything should just fit nice and gently together, with just the tiniest amount of space to give yourself some room for movement. As with all of my other videos, I really hope that you enjoyed this project, and if you did, give me a like. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe and click on notifications so you'll know when the next video is out. Until then, now you know, go make something.